Well, if you watch Harry's Garage, you'll know there's nothing I like better than a proper adventure with a car, one of the collection. And in the past, I'm lucky enough to take in the Countach. Well, that's been to Italy, it's been across the Alps, it's done all sorts of things, and the Espada, also we did Route Napoleon, it's also been right down to Rome as well. But I've got this Testarossa, and I've been thinking, what can I do with a Testarossa, a really good road journey? And I was thumbing through some old magazines the other day, and came across one from 1995 that, when it came out, I was just spellbound. What a story it was. And it was a good friend of mine now, Richard Bremner, who did it. And he somehow persuaded Ferrari to lend him a Ferrari 512 to take to the Sahara. Could I do that? Well, I am going to do it, and it's February now, it's all a bit chilly, but tomorrow we're off to the Sahara in my Testarossa. Exactly 20 years ago since that story was done, and the route from here down to where they got to, right by the Sahara, is 2,500 miles away. I'll show you on a map. We're obviously just to the left of London. You pop down here all the way across France and of course all across Spain, but we're cheating. We're actually going to take a boat from Portsmouth, go round here and actually set off for Santander. It takes about 1,000 miles off it, so it's which is sort of worth doing. Now, Morocco isn't marked on this map because it's not part of Europe, and you always know you're on a good journey when you have to borrow one of your kids' geography books. Here's Morocco, and we're going to head down into Morocco, Marrakesh, stay the night there, cross the Atlas Mountains the next day, hoping there's not snow. That's the only trouble with going in February. And you'll see the Sahara is here, this bit here, and there's a dotted line here because that is actually a disputed border, and all the guidebooks are telling me that there's potential landmines and things like that, so we're going to be quite careful and get a guide for this bit. So that's the road trip. I can't wait to get going. There's packing to be done, and the next time you join me will be in Morocco. Okay, well, this is the moment we take the ferry to Morocco. I chose the ferry on looks. As you will see, it's a sort of hydro ferry that gets across to Morocco from Spain in 35 minutes. I shouldn't have done that because I read the guidebook, typical bloke, read it on the ferry between UK and Spain, and discovered that the route we're taking, which is Tarifa to Tangier, is not the recommended one, because they're a bit tricky trying to get your car in, because it lands in Tangier city. And I've also discovered there's two Tangier places where ferries land, Tangier Med and Tangier city. And you want to land in Tangier Med, which means you should go from Algeciras, is a top tip I've now discovered as I wait for this ferry. I'm also a little anxious that the approach and departure angle looks a bit steep, and whether it's Testarossa friendly we're going to find out, but I hope things improve on the other side, and we're also utterly crowded round if you just spin the camera around. Anyway, there you go. It was all part of the adventure, but this bit I've sort of been dreading because it's not straightforward getting your car into Morocco. All the papers have to match. Got my lucky pants on. Let's see what happens. I don't know. No one watching. Get on there. Right, look at me. Well, that was a bit of luck. I really didn't think that was going to happen. Supercars and ferries aren't really very friendly. Up the hill. Okay. Right, no idea. We've got two signs here: sorted automobile, sorted camionets, that'd be the caravans, not a sign of anyone. Sorted the voitures, we try that one. Right, the fun and games start here. I think we're going to get a form.
Hello.
My wife's particularly nice. Okay, lots of pointing. This is where we spend the next few days in Morocco, in no man's land. Okay, what's happened so far is I've signed the papers, and now the man, I thought he was official, but now he's asking for a bit of money, English money, euro money, doesn't matter. I said, look, I'll give you money if we get the car in. So now he's gone off to get the official, and we'll see if his little bit of magic touch works or not. Things were going very well. About 10 minutes in, got the papers, yes, we'll give you a paper, and then they just wanted to inspect the car. And they lifted the front up and spotted that I had a drone with me. And that apparently is not allowed into Morocco. So it's all changed sort of atmosphere now. We're about half an hour in now. And I'm waiting for some papers to prove that I've left a drone with customs and I can collect it. And I want a little bit of white paper to let me out. Oh dear. Okay, well, we're through customs. I have this bit of paper that allows me to exit. It has a little stamp. I have to hand it back. And that they're giving me for my drone, which I go and collect on the way back, which I'm absolutely gutted at. Been using it at home, just wanted to fly it in the dunes, what would be amazing photography. Never mind. Now on to Marrakesh. God, it's late, 2:45, 350 miles. And then the adventure, but at least we're in Morocco, we're free to travel, and 45 minutes actually isn't too bad. Which way are we going now? Who's giving way to who?
Turn left.
Car, it's a barrier. Casablanca straight on.
In 3/4 of a mile, continue on Boulevard des Arcs Royales.
This is the main route out of Tangier, and we've run out of tarmac, so I wasn't expecting it quite so early. We're still trying to get to Marrakesh tonight. We're about halfway since we set off from Tangier, since we got let down customs. Amazing sky, pan round. Very tedious, the motorways I'm finding. We have seen, we reckon, about 8 or 9 speed traps in about 170 miles. So one every 20 miles, police hiding in bushes, etc. The other thing we've discovered at the péage is they only accept cash, no credit cards, which is a right bore. We had some euros, so we just about scraped through the last one. Right, time to get some money out. Well, yesterday was quite a day. A real motorway slog from Tangier and down to Marrakesh. I have to say, I had no idea how much police presence there was in Morocco until yesterday. Just police cameras everywhere. I was hoping to get a bit of a move on. I mean, Richard Bremner in this original story talks about doing 150 on the motorway, sort of flybys. No chance of that yesterday. There was 120 clicks absolutely on the button, and police, speed trap after speed trap. Even coming into Marrakesh last night, they had stingers out on the sort of some of the junctions. I don't know why they have so much police present here. Anyway, we're here now. It's been 1,000 miles to get here. We look at the map. I'll show you where we are. We've come all the way down from Tangier last night when we got through, finally through customs, all the way round Casablanca, down motorway and into Marrakesh. And today is the big adventure, is where the real adventure starts, because we're going over the Tiki Pass here, over the Atlas Mountains, down to Ozat, and then across this way up to our food, and then the desert dunes here. Lord knows what time of day we're going to get there. But it's a huge adventure. One of the great things I've discovered about Morocco is how cheap the fuel is. I filled up with super unleaded last night and it was about 9.5 dirhams per litre. That's 62p a litre, which to the UK guy is just incredibly cheap. And the daft thing is, because we're doing 120 kilometres down the motorway, we're like on an economy drive. This thing's doing 21 miles a gallon. So on a 24, 25 gallon tank, this thing's doing nearly 500 miles per fuel stop, which is just ridiculous. So today, let's burn a bit more fuel, go up in the hills, and I can't wait to get this adventure going. See you in a bit. What that is. That's not a good start. For whatever reason, the engine's turning over, spinning like a top, and then not firing. I can smell fuel, which I don't want to. Oh, it's time to get the toolkit out. Right, well, we've started the graft at all straws now, and Justin has even brought a cup of tea out, which we're going to try next. We're going for Sparks or cup of tea. One of them is going to kill this Ferrari.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, is that mine? Oh,
cheers.
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 Let's just take that other. I can't even bloody put it's time to get going. We've got it going. We think it's somewhere in the distributor cap. Took it off, gave it a wipe. Hey presto, we have a running Ferrari. Marvellous. So, well, we're extracting ourselves from Marrakesh after that little bit of excitement. Justin is sure it was nothing to do with a bit of moisture in the distributor cap. It was all to do with the teas. See, tea is going to be the thing I have to put in the toolkit from now on. We're going around the outside of Marrakesh. This is the wall. I don't think you want to turn around, just have a look at the outside wall. There's the ancient city in there, which is no place for a Ferrari, but just an amazing place. I've been there a few times. It's well worth a visit. And where we're heading, well, it's spectacular and barren, but the road signs in Morocco are a nightmare because they don't actually put like the A1 or the N2 on the sign. That's all in Arabic, so you've got to look for the town you're going to. Oh, is that it? Yes, there is a ski region in Morocco which I had no idea about. Okay, I've just got my first speeding ticket for doing 70 kilometres in a 60 zone, which cost me 300 It's just filling. Apparently I get a receipt where I have to show my documents. Extraordinary how much police presence there is in this country. It's just impossible to do anything. You need a lot of cash travelling through Morocco in a Ferrari, I'm discovering. Just stuck behind some trucks on the way up the pass at the moment. The helpful policeman who relieved me of all the cash for doing 70 and a 60. I asked him about the pass whether it was open because it does get snow up here. He says, oh yeah, it's open, no problem. But you brought the wrong car, that's not the right car to take over there. I said, why is that? He says, oh, it's very bumpy, very rough. Which I hope isn't too bad, but at least the pass is open. But we are seeing quite a lot of snow. That looks quite snowy to me up there. Oh look, I reckon that's a snow barrier, is it? So the road is open. Oh, that's good. Oh, there are the snow clouds. Yeah, that must be the snow barriers. Yeah, the pass has turned into a bit of a sort of Welsh rally across the stage. If you look outside, it's gravel, mud, trucks, not what I was expecting at all, but the blue sky has materialised and we're getting very close to the top up here, and I'm hoping for much better things on the other side. So far, this isn't quite what I expected at all. Look at this, yeah, look around here, see all the mud and snow. Oh, it's just all a bit miserable. Every time you think you can go for an overtake, you're just worried that how many potholes there are on the road. The policeman might have been right that this perhaps wasn't the best route for a Ferrari. Side of the Atlas Mountains. I have to say it was pretty cross coming up. I think they've had a really tough winter and the roads wrecked, absolutely wrecked. Potholes, gravel, mud. On the side, it's completely different. We're back in mode now. That's why I drove all this way to experience roads like this. Absolutely in the middle of nowhere. Sahara is still about 400 miles away. On roads like this, that's not going to take too long. The thing I don't like in this Testarossa is the gear change. It's a really stiff gear change. I mean, it's just not a pleasant change at all. It's not what you expect from a Ferrari. So I'll try the linkages and stuff. I think it's because it's got dual plate clutch and they've put the plates the wrong way round, so it's a little bit to investigate another time. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to enjoy actually being in Morocco on some just amazing roads. Well, you can see the Atlas Mountains where we crossed over the snow right in the distance. There's clouds on top because it was just snowing as we came over. And then there's this vastness, just nothingness really. And then these sort of little hamlets on here. We've just been reading the guidebooks. They do a lot of filming here. So Hollywood decamps here when they want to make rather going to Tibet or something like that. It's not hard to see why. We go over this edge, it just goes on for hundreds of miles. You do have to look out for some potholes on the road and stuff, but narrow straight road just going straight through this amazing landscape. There's serious temptation to go far too fast here when you get on roads like this. It must be clear for miles in front of you. Amazing scenery again. It looks like the Grand Canyon as you're travelling through here. These narrow straight roads are not really very well surfaced, so you have to keep the speed sort of under control. Sheer size and the scale of Morocco that shocked me. Well, I hoped this morning you would find me next to the dunes at Yasmina Hotel. When we left Marrakesh, you might remember, we had a little issue. We thought it was something to do with the sparks or something, and we miraculously cured it by taking the distributor cap off, putting it back on, and it all started up fantastic. Last night we hammered through the mountains. Morocco is twice as big as you expect, and we didn't quite get to Yasmina Hotel. And at about 11 o'clock we rocked up at this lovely hotel, Erg Chebbi Hotel in Ifud. Really nice, looked after us really well. And we went to start the Ferrari this morning, and hey presto, we had the same issue again. We've had a cup of tea, and as ever, when Ferrari does that, everything's perfect on it, but we haven't got any sparks. And it turns out it's an immobiliser problem, which is just the bane of my life. 80s and 90s immobiliser, when they're 10, 20 years old, seem to pack up. So we've gone right in. If you look in here, here's a little siren thing. We've been in here, we've been in the circuit boards, we've been down there, la-di-da. And the problem we find is in here. Gone far too deep. Down in there is a horrible bit of wiring, amateur wiring, and they go onto a micro switch on the glove box to take power off, and the solder had dropped off. Always the same with cars. Mechanically robust, but immobiliser gets you every time. Anyway, 60 kilometres down the road are the dunes, so we're going to put everything back together, and we'll see you next, I hope, on the most fantastic roads and in the Sahara. over half an hour on the most vicious washboard track down to the hotel. All the glorious roads, you're sort of inching closer to the Yasmina Hotel. I mean, it is getting more epic outside, but I hate I always think of the torture of suspension, and especially on a Ferrari. We are getting closer. This is happening quite a lot as well. Get overtaken, mainly by Land Cruisers. This sort of look out in bewilderment, I think, as this thing makes its way slowly across to here. I can't get over, actually, all the way round, how friendly the Moroccans have been. They've been an utter joy everywhere we've been. We've arrived late at hotels, nothing's too much trouble. Waves all the way through, photographs, all the petrol stations, all the rest of it. It's been absolutely brilliant. What I can't get over is driving at night is a bit tricky because they do like to be out on the streets, and there seems to be a national game of driving without lights on, especially on bikes, which is a bit unnerving. That was a rock just going underneath. Guide. I'm going to follow my guide. I'm not getting lost at this last bit. Where is it taking us? I didn't think we'd go around here. Anyway, we have to believe him, don't we? Been an amazing trip. I have to say, the Testarossa as well. What a machine this has been. We've put it through hell on this journey. I didn't really know what to expect. It's the first big journey we've done with it. And it's actually proved pretty comfy. I've really liked the big tank. It's just ridiculous being able to do 400 miles on a tank. Oh, this is the start. I'm going to have to concentrate just at this bit. What's happened is it's suddenly we've lost the sand and we've got to rock. There we go. The Testarossa underneath is completely flat, so it's got a flat floor, so I'm not too worried. It doesn't really catch anything. It's just could possibly catch the sump at the back, but it's not that bad. Why is he taking us around there? Is that really the way? Yeah, we seem to cause a bit of commotion with the camel guys. We've just agreed a special rate to go on the camels and see the sunset in the desert. We sort of have to do it, but he's got quite a lot of camel power here. Yeah, it's all good fun. Well, we made it. Here we are, Yasmina Hotel in the Erg Chebbi sand dunes of the Sahara. We've just worked it out, it's 2,500 miles from home here. So different from a sort of drizzly, frosty sort of UK we left a mere 4 or 5 days ago. We're now in 24 degrees, beautiful sunshine, and the most spectacular dunes I've ever seen. I think it's probably the maddest trip I've ever done. Bringing a Ferrari to Sahara, that's pretty bonkers. I have to thank Richard Bremner for even doing it. He's even madder than I realise now. I've done it too. The highlights for me were some of the roads and just seeing those dunes for the first time, and the sort of empty roads, these dead arrow straight roads hammering along, and the dunes just getting closer and closer. Some of the downsides, I have to say the trip over the Tiki Pass over the Atlas Mountains was properly tedious. There's all these lorries, there was the snow, there was the gravel, the mud. the number of speed cameras and the ever efficient police just everywhere in Morocco. I didn't realise that. I thought it'd be completely empty of that sort of thing, but they are pretty much everywhere. On the other side, there's fuel stations everywhere. I thought we'd be really struggling on fuel with the distance. Everybody had diesels out here, but no, you buy fuel anywhere, and it's so cheap, super unleaded at 62p a litre to a Brit. That's just astonishing. It's half price. The car, just been mega bringing this across. It's the first huge trip we've done in the Testarossa, and the things I really liked was, it sounds ridiculous, but the amount of space in it, we just haven't even thought about you know, how many bags to take. So I mean, it's no problem carrying stuff. Some of the other things I didn't expect until we started the book. There's no sort of rescue service out here. You're totally on your own, and having that immobiliser issue, that was a bit of a ball, but there's no AA out here, RAC. You're on your own on this sort of thing. I'm so glad we haven't sort of picked up a puncher or anything, because I have to say there was just more off-road than I expected, and the poor old Testarossa has suffered a bit, but we've kept it to an absolute minimum. It's fantastic having tall tyres in sort of rocks. It just means sort of today's low-profile tyres just really wouldn't cope with what we've been doing. Well, we've picked up quite a lot of dust all over the poor old car. It does need a proper clean after this, but if you can imagine some of the roads we've been on, it's hardly a surprise. It's hardly used any oil, I'm very glad to say. I have to say the engine's been terrific. The actual mechanicals, no problem at all. The air conditioning's worked great. Seats are comfy. It's been a cool car to do it in. That's the end of the adventure. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to watch more adventures, more car tests, then please keep watching Harry's Garage. We're off, signing off now. We're going to have a day here, enjoying the scenery, riding camels, and then we're heading back to the UK. So I'll see you soon. Yeah, back here. Yeah. Oh, that's good. Okay.